All right, perfect. Yes, so as I was saying, welcome to the Build on Gnosis Chain workshop by Gnosis Builders. This is hopefully a first of many workshops covering the basics of building on Gnosis Chain generally. I am Rexy, ecosystem builder at Gnosis Builders, and for our first workshop, we have collaborated with amazing folks at Cookbook to bring you a session on deploying smart contracts on Gnosis Chain. So Cookbook is basically a free open source smart contract marketplace. And I'm sure, Sam here will cover a lot more about, what Cookbook is, what you guys can do with Cookbook later on. So just a quick run through of our agenda today. We have Dhruv Sandbag here, who is ecosystem builder and developer at Gnosis Builders. And we also have Sam Kamani, who is head of growth at Cookbook. We'll start our session with a 10 minutes overview of Gnosis Chain. And then that's going to be followed by a 30-minute session on the hands-on workshop, which is deploying smart contracts on Gnosis Chain. And then right at the end, we'll close it with a quick Q&A for anyone to ask any questions that they'd like to ask. And also, just as a reminder, we will also be giving out free POAPs to all the participants here. And basically how that's going to work, the Mint links will be shared directly through your email. So please, be on the lookout for an email from us. And that includes the speakers too, obviously. So, without further ado, I will hand this over to Dhruv for our first session. Dhruv, fire away.
Yeah, let me just share my screen.
Yep.
All right. All right, is everyone able to see my screen?
Yep.
Great. All right. Okay, I'll just get started. Hey guys, a very good evening to y'all, or whatever time zone you are in. I hope everyone's doing great. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Dhruv. I'm a full stack developer and ecosystem builder for Gnosis Builders. And I'm here today to give you guys a little info about Gnosis Chain and Gnosis Builders before we move on to the workshop side of things. All right, let's get started. Here's our agenda for today. So I'll be going over what even is Gnosis Chain and why is it worth building on Gnosis Chain, as well as some resources for you guys to help you get started. And then I'll end with an overview of Gnosis Builders. So let's just jump right into it. What is Gnosis Chain? We are a level 1 proof of stake based 100% EVM compatible chain, and we have a very unique dual token system. So we use XDAI, which is a stable coin for our gas fees, and GNO tokens as coins for validators staking to participate in chain transactions. And one of the most noteworthy things about us is that our transaction fees are super, super low. With a couple of dollars, you can process to hundreds of transactions, and you compare that to, say, Bitcoin or Ethereum, you're basically losing your crypto wallet just in gas fees. We are also a very community-powered and developer-focused system. We have an amazing team and a huge set of tools for all you guys to get started or ask for help. Additionally, becoming a validator on Gnosis Chain is just a couple of clicks away. At Gnosis, we really prioritize simplicity. Speaking of priorities, here are sort of 4 key priorities or objectives per se for Gnosis Chain and the attached community as a whole. Firstly, we aim to be the most resilient and decentralized blockchain out there. We know that the idea of blockchain has always been about giving power to the people and ensuring a spread of control worldwide. So, not centralized. And the only way to make sure that we continue to decentralize is by providing a great validator journey. Gnosis Chain is one of the easiest chains to stake and become validator in. Validators need to only stake about 1 GNO, which is around 120 US dollars, and don't need expensive or very powerful hardware to support our goal or earn staking rewards. With Stellium as well, you can become validator using just a few clicks, and we had a great workshop for that. Okay, but that's for validators. What about our developers and users? As mentioned before, we are a relatively cheap chain to operate on. With just a couple of dollars, you can process to hundreds of transactions, and we are super fast. And that way, Gnosis Chain is out there to help you and support you. And we have our in-depth docs and thorough guides, as well as our support system on Telegram and Discord, providing developers with a painless onboarding process. And finally, we at Gnosis Chain and Gnosis Builders, we know not to rest on our laurels. We have made it a key goal to listen to our users for feedback, but also continue building tools and infrastructure that our community can take advantage of. All right, if all of the above was not enough to sway you, let me just try buttering things up a bit by further telling you guys why it's worth building on Gnosis Chain. So first of all, just look at our numbers. We have over 125,000 validators, with hundreds more being added every week. This makes us one of the most decentralized chains out there, and we really champion our Gnosis Chain's decentralization through them. Additionally, any projects or decentralized application built on top of Gnosis Chain can benefit greatly from our lightning-fast block times of approximately 5 seconds. This means that any users of your projects or your DApp can effectively enjoy seamless transactions, and even you can enjoy a great development process. To add more fuel to this claim, as I mentioned before, you can process hundreds of transactions using just less than 1 XDAI. And for context, 1 XDAI is around $1. And so basically you can process transactions at like cents. There are two benefits to this. One is obviously the price. I mean, it's very cheap to process a transaction on Gnosis Chain. And the other is XDAI is a stable coin. That means that your transaction prices don't fluctuate as widely on like a day-to-day basis because it's a stable coin. And also we are 100% EVM compatible. That means that all of your DApp development tools that you use on Ethereum can be ported over to Gnosis very easily. That means you can deploy smart contracts from Ethereum to Gnosis very easily and cheaply. And Gnosis Chain doesn't stop there. We have around 50,000 active projects interacting on Gnosis Chain for the past 30 days, processing well over 1.5 million transactions and burning just 3,000 XDAI. As I said, our validator numbers keep growing and they have a pretty good yield of just under 15%. So in summary, why is Gnosis Chain pretty amazing? We are super user-friendly. We make it as easy and affordable to interact with our chain as much as possible. And we have a robust ecosystem that keeps growing thanks to people like you who take part in workshops and keep creating projects, tools, and resources so that everyone can benefit from. And don't think we don't recognize your efforts. We also have a great grants program for public goods projects, or we also provide support through marketing, liquidity, and networking through our Gnosis Builders team. And many projects have taken note or used Gnosis Chain. Here are just like an overview of some of the cool projects that we have on Gnosis Chain. As you can see, this is not even updated to today, so we still have more coming. And yeah, we have projects in all different sections. We have projects in DeFi, we have projects in DAOs, we have NFT and games, we have tools and resources, etc. And we at Gnosis just keep building on these projects. All right, Gnosis Chain is great. So here are some resources to get you guys started. Don't worry, all of these slides will be shared with you guys later, so no need to screenshot or remember some of these names. So let's start with first connecting your wallet. So you can add the RPC endpoint for Gnosis Chain to your wallet, or you can scan this QR code, which points you to the chainlist.org link there to add your wallet or to add Gnosis Chain to your wallet. I'm gonna give a quick couple of seconds here for you guys to try out, then maybe scan, or maybe you guys just wanna do it later. Yeah, so I'll just wait a bit and yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll just skip to the next slide. Anyway, we're sharing it, so yeah, we'll just have it there. So okay, now you've added your wallet. You can head over to our following links to learn more about Gnosis Chain. So our main website is obviously your first port of call. This is gnosis.io. Here you'll learn more about Gnosis Chain, our story, about our other projects and resources and tools and etc. But let's say you want to jump right into building on Gnosis Chain, then just head over to our docs. We have docs.gnosischain.com here, which is our entry point for all the documentation on Gnosis Chain, even for our developers and etc. Then maybe you want to see what wallets are supported on Gnosis Chain, then you can head over to gnosiswallets.com and you can enter in a couple of preferred parameters for the wallets you want to interact with on Gnosis Chain. And evidently, when you are developing on Gnosis Chain, you're going to need some XDAI to work on the chain. So we have Gnosis Faucets, which gives you a small amount of XDAI to start developing on Gnosis Chain. But let's say that's not enough and you need to buy more XDAI. So we have a very aptly named buyxdai.com website to, buy more XDAI. Let's say you want to buy GNO for staking of validators, then you can also head over to the buyxdai.com/GNO link. And for all of those budding validators out there, you can head over to validategnosis.com because it's a very simple, intuitive interface to guide you if you're interested in becoming a validator and supporting the mission of Gnosis Chain. All right, now that's a very long overview of Gnosis Chain done, but we still have Gnosis Builders. So then what is Gnosis Builders? So like Bob the Builder, I would say Gnosis Builder is the team that builds tools for or on top of Gnosis Chain, be it for developers, users, or just the community in general. Our symbol, like Gnosis, is a very abstract looking owl over here. We have a thing for owls at Gnosis. Some of our more popular projects have been mentioned in the previous slide, so like Validate Gnosis, Gnosis Faucets, XDAI, etc. And we continue to build more tools. If you guys want to take a look at what tools we have currently been built or launched, then you can take a look at these links here. Let's say some of you may want to contribute to or want to know more about these tools, then you can head over to our GitHub repo over here. This is sort of our go-to for all our resources for our tools on Gnosis Builders. Now, remember how I said that there are some cool tools we are launching or have launched? Here are some of that just recently launched and will launch soon. First off, we have D14N. So it's a dashboard that showcases the decentralization of Gnosis Chain. So it showcases the spread of validators and the countries that power Gnosis Chain to its speed and efficiency today. And building on top of that, we have Gnosis VIP, which is a program that, incentivizes our validators. So this is not for like a highest paying projects or special clients. VIP stands for Validator Incentive Program. So this provides validators with rewards to run nodes in like less service countries. So the benefits are twofold. Validators obviously get more rewards than just standard staking for running a validator in a specific country. And we at Gnosis enjoy the benefits of being decentralized even further. So sounds great, doesn't it? And that's a wrap on the overview of Gnosis Builders and Gnosis Chain. I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. For more links to reach out to us on social media, we have our Gnosis Chain socials and Gnosis Builder socials over here as well. And let's say you're working on some really cool projects or have questions or want to interact with the Gnosis Chain team, then you can contact us at this link down below, which is Gnosis Builders-contact us. Yeah, that's really it from me. I'll hand over the time to Rexy and Sam to continue with the cookbook workshop. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Dhruv. That was a great and valuable session. I think for any Q&A or questions in this case, we'll leave it at the end of the session. We'll have around 5 to 10 minutes for that. So Dhruv is still going to be here until the end. So for the next session, we have Sam, who will be covering a hands-on workshop on deploying smart contracts and Gnosis on Cookbook. So Sam, please fire away.
Thank you. Thank you, Drew, and thank you, Rexy. I will just share my screen. Just a second. Gnosis presentation, share, and just a second. It's sharing. And yeah, so first of all, welcome to this presentation. I want to share a bit about Cookbook and what is Cookbook. But before that, I'll give you a bit of a very brief background or my history. I've been involved in tech startups for the last 15 years or so. First built and sold an e-commerce startup, then an esports startup. And after that, I've written books on tech startups and also run a podcast called Web3 with Sam Kamani podcast. And that's how I got introduced to the Cookbook team and found out what they're building. And I found it like super useful for developers or for anyone who wants to build in the Web3 space. And that's how I got involved in this team. And I've been working with the team since pretty much just before the project launched and having lots of fun building this project. So what is Cookbook and why use Cookbook? I will just quickly go through this presentation over the next 5 minutes, but after that, we'll go and deploy contract or maybe even create like your own token after this. And we will be doing that on the Gnosis chain, and you'll see. And Drew, when you were giving your speech, your presentation, I was just thinking about that how cheap it is to deploy something, or how cost effective it is to deploy something on Gnosis chain, and it is so fast, and it costs like fraction of a cent, not even a cent, fraction of a cent. You can't even like see it. It's amazing. So I really like Gnosis because of that. It makes the playing field really level for anyone. Any person wants to test things out. It's really good like that. So So yeah, so what is Cookbook? Cookbook is a place to source a smart contract. So if you're looking for any type of a smart contract, then you can go and find it, or you can create your own portfolios. If you are a developer who's creating smart contracts, then you can upload them over there, and you can get your own sort of personal link and show it off as like this is your portfolio of smart contracts, and show people who are using it and what depths are using it, and stuff. um, so that's a brief sort of a history of smart contracts. So why Cookbook, why even use something like this? The number one reason is that in Web3, most of the dapps, they are powered by smart contracts, and anything that you want to build, the chances are that someone else has built something very similar or pretty much identical to what you want to build. So why not just find that and adapt from that and cut your development time? So that is one of the key reasons. And also, like with the start of Cookbook, how it all started is that when these three co-founders, James, Tyler, and Jackson, they got together, and they owned an agency at that time. This is back like a year and a half ago. They used to own an agency where they were building exchanges and marketplaces and digital wallets, and all sorts of Web3 projects, DeFi projects, and also non-DeFi projects and NFT projects and stuff. And what they realized is that they were using the same type of things over and over again. And also, as they started to grow, what happened was that they had to go and hire a team. And when they hired developers, they were also once again starting their own journey and building their own sort of libraries, collecting their own smart contracts from the internet to go and edit them and deploy. So they wanted to solve this own problem for their own developers, so they started creating this collection of smart contracts, and they realized like, hey, this is really useful. Why not open this up for the whole world and let everyone use it? Because the other thing is that you can find a smart contract online somewhere, but then you don't know whether you can trust it. You don't know whether it has an audit or it doesn't have an up-to-date audit, or if there are any bugs in it, or there's documentation for it. So it's a mixed bag. You don't know what you're going to find. So Cookbook started as solving our own problem initially, and that's how it progressed from. But now what has happened is that a lot of protocols are also using it, because a lot of protocols want people to build on top of their smart contract or build on top of them. So they come to Cookbook and upload their smart contract. And now, say if you want to build something in social, you can go and look for Lens protocol, and then you can find every smart contract that Lens protocol uses it. Either edit it in Remix or use CLI in whatever tool you want to use, or you can just do like a no code deploy. So so that's where the sort of the vision for our product is, to allow people to build faster and share what they are building with everyone else, as well as be able to integrate in whatever workflow you want to use. If you want to do a no code deploy, that's fine. If you want to edit and remix, that's fine. If you want just the bytecode or ABI, or if you want to just copy source code, that's fine. And I'll show you. And also, some of the other things that we are doing recently is that we are playing around quite a bit more with chat gpt or GPT-4. And so we have made in our Discord server this persona of Richard Feynman, and you can go and ask Richard in our Discord that, hey Richard, can you explain this ERC 20 or ERC 1155, and or give me code for XYZ contract, and it will go and find it for you, or it will give you the code. Or if you even upload your own contract to Cookbook, ChatGPT will automatically write the documentation for it. Um, Also, a month ago, we did a partnership with Remix, the Remix IDE. So now you can edit any smart contract from within Cookbook, and it takes you straight to Remix IDE. Or you can have a Cookbook plugin inside Remix and source any smart contract directly there, and which I will show you as well. Also, the last thing that I did want to mention before we get into the workshop, it's the hands-on workshop is that we have a place where we have listed the Gnosis's bounty that they are offering at each Tokyo. So for if some reason you are at each Tokyo and you want to create that, you want to win that bounty, you can go and have a look. But you not only have access to bounty, you also have access to the smart contracts that you can deploy, and you can go and win that bounty. So yeah, so with all that out of the way, let's get into it. I will go to the cookbook website, and now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to pause a little bit more so you have a chance to go to the website yourself and follow the steps around, so we can create something together. So this is the cookbook website, just the general overview. On the top right hand side, I have connected my wallet. If you haven't, that's not a problem. You can just surf the website without connecting anything, without signing up. You can go and look for say if you want to create a type of token, you can go and look for it here. Say if you want something with infinite rewards, you want something with blacklist or a whitelist, you can just go and easily find it. You can even search here, then it will only for audited, then it will only show you audited smart contracts. And when you say you go to an audited smart contract, so say this is a ERC20 with a blacklist, you can go and inspect its audit. On the right hand side, you'll get the inspect audit tab, because for some people they like that sort of peace of mind. But if it is just for fun, you want to do something really quickly, you can just go and find something that's deployable or which has like a no code deploy. So let's do this together, and let's just look for something that is really simple. For an example, so let's say simple ERC20, or just say simple token, and see what pops up. So yep, here's a simple token. Once you go over here, you see its documentation, and you can also see its source code. You can copy the source code, or the ABI, the bytecode. You can look at its verification audit, see who's using it, who's deployed it recently, and just go over on the right hand side and click on a no code deploy. Once you do this, this dialog box should open, and you can give it any name that you want. You could call it, I don't know, elephant coin, owl coin, anything that you want to. I mean, for just example, I'll just keep it tidy. I'll just call it test coin, TSCN, and million, billion, and over here choose 18, because it's not one of NFT, it's a 18 sort of token, the decimal point. And then you just go over here and you pick chain. So you can pick, like, say over here, like Gnosis Chain, and it will automatically change, which you don't see. But on my MetaMask, it will automatically change to the Gnosis chain. But I would recommend, do not do it on a mainnet straight away. You can choose any chain. In fact, you can just go over here and you can see there's hundreds, probably thousands these days of EVM chains out there. But I would recommend use something like Gnosis. And even before you do it on mainnet, do it on testnet. And you can do it on Gnosis. And if you need some of like X DAI, then you can go and click over here, and it will take you to the faucet to get some X DAI. So say, let's say when I click over there, I'll show you. So it will go to the Gnosis X DAI faucet, and you just fill out your wallet number. I'm not going to do that right now. I already have done this step before, but this is where you can get some free X DAI. So I went over there from here, and what I'm going to do, since I already have some in my wallet, I'm just going to click deploy. And once I do that, it will pop my MetaMask up, and it is going to ask me if I want to deploy. I think I can share this tab of my MetaMask. So it will ask me if I want to confirm. And as you can see, the gas estimate is 0.0009. So it is 10th of 1 cent, about, or slightly less than that. And then you just go and confirm, and that's it. Hold on, because it closed down. Present tab and cookbook. Just a second. And that's it. It will pop up with a message. Just a second. Yep. Once you press that, it will pop up with a message that's your smart contract is successfully baked. The next thing you do is you go over on manage contract. So this is once you have deployed the contract, you can go and manage it over here. So you can go and read and see all the access all the functions, the methods inside the smart contract. So say now if you want me to transfer, so if you want, you can even put it here in chat, your wallet address, and I will send it to send some of this coin to you, the test coin to you, if you want to do that, just for fun. But that's how simple as it is. So you can access all the different methods and functions of that smart contract from here. So this was just a simple example. I haven't even created a profile yet, but pretty much you can create your own profile and you can start contributing. So if you are a protocol or something, you can start as a project, or you can start as a builder. Everything that you see on the website is free. It is completely open source and free to use place. So that was just as an example. But say you want to build something for a hackathon, you'd go and look at, if you want to build something like Azuki, which was a gas optimized NFT, so you can go to ERC721A and once again do no code deploy, fill out your details, the price of the NFT, fill out all the details, and that's it. It's a very, very fast to create and deploy and manage a smart contract. Now there were some other things that we did talk about in during the presentation, and that was edit and remix. So once you click edit and remix, it will open it up in remix, and I will have to share this tab. And there you go. It has opened that burnable token dot it's solidity. So yeah, so it's open that code straight here. And then the other thing is that if you do not have a cookbook plugin, you can just go over here in remix and plugin manager and just search for cookbook. I have already added cookbook plugin, but if you haven't, you can just easily add that plugin. And once you have, you can access it with the chef's hat over here, and whatever contract you want, you can find it. So say if you want to build something like Uniswap, so you can see all the Uniswap contracts straight over here. And then once you click on this, if you want like a pair broker, you can just click over here, and bam, you've got the contract over here and in straight and remix, and you can go and edit or do whatever you want. You want to deploy it. If you use code, if you use remix, you can use your own workflow, whatever workflow you prefer. Just a second, I will just share this tab. Going back to cookbook, if you want to just use CLI, you can just copy this this code and add it to your VS Code or wherever you want, and And bam, it's as easy as that. um, Finally, I have just two things that I would like to show you, and one of that is the bounties page. So if you go to cookbook.dev/bounties/eth global dash Tokyo, but I mean, we'll make this presentation available, the recording of it, so you can copy from there. So these are all the bounties that Gnosis is offering at the moment. But here is where you can also find the suggested contracts for it, which are also audited. And so you can just go to that contract and then do a no code deploy, and you can build a dep really really fast, allowing you to deploy on Gnosis really fast, and possibly even win that bounty. So keep an eye. Over time we will have a bit better sort of a bounties feature where we'll accumulate more bounties from more different projects and stuff. But Gnosis is one of the first chains that we have partnered with to continue to support their developer community and stuff. So yeah, so this is one of the things. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is the chat gpt for plugin. So you don't have to pay for chat gpt. You can just go to our tool and do that. I will have to stop and reshare so I can share my Discord. Just a second, and stop sharing. Just a second. And present window. So just give it a few seconds. No, yeah, cool. So this is our Discord server, Cookbook. I will give you the QR code to join this Discord server as well. And in that there is a channel called Solidity Bot Experiment, and just type to Richard Feynman. So it answers you in style of Richard Feynman. What are the benefits of ERC 1155? And let's see what it comes back with. Hopefully it won't break. Just as, because this is the new experiment that we are trying to see what happens. And probably just as I say, it would have. So just like few seconds ago, I asked, an hour ago, I asked that, can you write a code for simple ERC20 smart contract? So it will give you the code, but it will also link you to where you can find all the details of it in on Cookbook. So you can go there, and oh yeah, there you go. It just takes few seconds. But yeah, so efficiency, batch transfers, flexibility, adaptability. So it gives you a bit of much better sort of an explanation. So if you want to learn faster, you can just use this tool, as well as, can I hi Richard, can I please get the code for ERC 1155, and let's see what happens. Depending on how busy the API is and how busy GPT-4 is at the moment. But basically it will eventually come up with an answer, and it will link you straight to that smart contract where you can do a deploy and everything on Cookbook. But yeah, feel free to give it a try, to test it out, and and let us know how it performs. So yeah, so that's about it. That's everything from me. Just a second, I will just stop sharing, or I will give you the QR code. Just 1 second. Is a tab, and yeah. So that's about it from me. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions for me, and I'll also pass it over. Yes, that is correct. So I've just got a question that not all the contracts are audited. So that is 100% correct. Not all the contracts are audited. Also, the other thing is we don't audit the contracts. The contracts are audited all by third party, and we just link you to the PDF of the audit, whether it's in GitHub or wherever that audit is. So we just link you to that audit if that audit is available. So not we have the ABI or the bytecode and everything of every contract, but we have tried to accumulate as much as we can for as many smart contracts as possible. So you can find thousands of smart contracts on Cookbook, and new ones added every day, new ones discovered every single day. Also, a lot of our contracts are added by individual developers. So if they haven't uploaded audit, or if they're not audited, then that's something out there. The other thing we are going to do recently, or we are building, is few more social features. So make it a bit more like Stack Overflow. So say if you discover a vulnerability, you can write in a comment so other people can learn, and like vice versa, you can learn if someone else has found a vulnerability in a smart contract, or they found a bug or an error. So yeah, that's what we are working towards.
All right. Thank you, Sam. That was a nice and straightforward demo. And thanks, Lama, for the first question. But I will now open up the floor for a Q&A for the next 5 to 10 minutes. So to everyone here, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask directly, or you can also ask them via chat. You've got a good one there, Sam.
Yeah. How many times can I annoy Richard in a day? Oh, as many times as you want. So yeah, I mean, we have broken Richard few times while testing it. So it has been fun. But he has been patient with us so far. So we've tried to give our like bot a bit of sort of personality and a bit of a persona, just to make it fun. No problem. Nice to meet you. Yeah, there is. You can find ERC 4337 contract, and you can ask Richard about that as well. But even if you just go and search, that has been requested quite a bit, because that has been in the news and stuff as well. I mean, as it's been talked about a lot in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So last 2 weeks or so. So yeah, pretty much if you don't find a contract here, then you can just go and request it, and it will go out to the community, and other people will either create it, or we will either work on it, and we'll work on sourcing it and stuff. So yeah.
Perfect. Anyone else has questions? Okay. So if there are no more questions, we can end hopefully our first of many dev workshops. Hopefully the next one we can also collaborate with you, Sam, and Cookbook, obviously. But again, thank you to both our speakers, both Dhruv and Sam. I hope this this workshop becomes a good starting point for any builders, developers, or project founders to start building on Gnosis Chain. And if you have any further questions, feel free to join us on Telegram at Gnosis Builders Community, or you can also reach out to us on Twitter at Gnosis Builders. Just to also echo a bit of what Dhruv said, if you're looking for support or resources from Gnosis Builders as a project or just as an individual builder, you can visit our website at gnosis.builders and head over to the Contact Us section. In that section, you'll be able to find like all the different forms according to the type of support you need. This could be in the form of grants, co-marketing, liquidity support. I think we have plenty of different support and resources we can provide. And I guess also one last reminder, we also have free POAPs to all the participants here. So the Mint links will be shared directly through email, so please be on the lookout for that. And yeah, most importantly, thank you to everyone here for joining our first live dev workshop. And we hope to see you guys again soon. Thank you.
Yeah, there's just one more thing. We'll create some sort of follow-up questionnaire, because we would like to do like a series on different topics. So say once on DeFi, once on NFTs, once on utilities. So just that what you would like to learn about and all that. But we'll create like a follow-up form at some stage and email it to everyone that signed up to the workshop. So yeah, so just wanted to share that. But all good. Thanks for coming.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. See ya. Bye.